I just want to quickly look at the pairs that have developed since the weekend, starting with Aussie US dollar. This is still quite confusing. There's still a few possibilities here. I want to revise one thing that I mentioned on the weekend, however. I mentioned that the ultimate breaking point would be here, the November high, which I marked as A of a possible triangle. However, I'm going to revise this. The reason being, the issue is this down move here, which I've marked as A. This is a 5-wave impulse. So for the time being, I'm going to use the high here of April 2016 as the breaking point for the whole structure. The reason being that following this 5-wave impulse here, we could be looking at a larger 3-wave move overall, where it would break the November high but remain beneath the 2016 high and then turn over. So that is one possibility that I did not mention on the weekend. Alternatively, this could be also valid as a triangle so long as the November high holds here. I would have to adjust this so the 5 waves would have to come to here, then we would have a 3-wave correction like this, and now 5 waves up for C of this segment, staying beneath the November high, which would move C of the try over here in a collapse. So there are two possibilities still without looking higher towards 0.85. So long as this high holds, there's the possibility here for 3 waves. However, if this high is broken, there's still the possibility for it to turn over so long as the 2016 April high holds, as this 5-wave segment here remains valid until broken. So too many possibilities. I'm going to stick with the bears for the bearish view for now. It's just that because this high has been broken, the best I can do at the moment is move this over. And then if this is broken, I would deal with this overall. So I'll stay bearish on this for the time being until 2016 is broken. Euro dollar, looking like a correction is underway now. The triangle possibility is still open. However, I am looking at this to go a bit higher. We've had 3 waves here, and then a correction and 5 waves for C of this segment. So a correction now at a minimum, at least a correction, possibly lower for D of the triangle, otherwise just a correction for another move up to towards 1.1. Similar view on cable, it's time for a correction before the next segment up for E of the try as a minimum. I can mark this as 5 waves with wave 1 extending and an ending diagonal for wave 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're seeing a correction of that. The pound looks like it's toast in a number of pairs. I would not want to deal with a pound at all. It looks like it's going to sink like a brick. If not immediately, then soon enough. There will be a time for the pound, but that's not yet. Dollar yen, there may be a 5-wave move here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, pardon me, let me revise that since I haven't labeled it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5 overall. So 5 waves overall, bigger picture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we can see a decent bounce here, there may be the chance to move up to correct this and sell into a correction. US dollar, Canadian dollar is still valid for X holding here for another move higher. So far it's only 3 waves down. And this does look like a flag, but I've seen these turn into moves up as well because the whole move up is corrective. So I'm still looking higher for the time being. There's no 5-wave decline in this. Euro pounds, this could be done for wave 2. There are a couple of possibilities here. We could have 3 waves done here and now a turn higher. Alternatively, the second part of this may be extending. So we have A, B, and then it will be A, B, and C for one more low and then a turn higher. The trend line's not important, this is a guide, but the 5-wave composite here is what counts. Still looking higher in Euro Oz eventually. 5 waves up established. We'll see how this unfolds as we head down. Aussie New Zealand, another high needed. Euro New Zealand still looking lower. If this does, it's normal to move down to wave 4 of the lower degree of wave 3. So a move towards 151x is certainly possible. If this does make a bigger decline, I'm definitely going to add to positions here. I just want to say that if this does take a deeper decline, I will also keep in mind the possible 1-2-1-2 idea, which would turn this incredibly bullish, as mentioned on the weekend. Pound is toast. Aussie Canadian still looking higher, but there may be a turn here, a little bit of a break of this and a turn down. I do like this idea. Overall, I'm looking higher. See the weekend video if you want more detail on this. But we may be looking at a small ending diagonal here. We need to see some weakness and a decline. But let's open. Okay, gold, and I'm going to add Bitcoin in a moment. So gold looks like it could be open to an ED here for a move lower for what would be B of, well, see the weekend video, please. I'm not going to go into this right now. There are too many possibilities. Bitcoin. Okay, I don't usually deal with this. I don't have positions in this. I was interested in this back when it was below $50, back living in another city. Didn't take it. Somewhat regretful, but there are always those opportunities missed. A friend of mine is in this from $200. And what I'm looking at right now is that it is probably going to make another high. I mean, first of all, when you look at something like this has the parabolic look, where it makes this beautiful sweep up and just turns, and it reaches insane highs where everyone chases it, piles in, and then it tanks horribly. But looking from the wave 2 or below, we've had 5 waves for 1, 2, 3 wave correction, 5 waves for 3. We're in the process of a correction now, which I'll go over in detail. And I would look for this to continue up. As you can see from this, the wave 5, the 5th waves in these moves have been the powerful ones. So wave 5 here of 1, wave 5 here of 3. So if we're finishing a wave 4 and going into wave 5, this will be the mega move. This will be in my opinion, if this doesn't materialize, if we find a base on the next low around 900, 850, 800, this is the kind of move that would double. It'll go from 900 to basically 1800 US dollars. So it's the kind of thing to get into if you're not already in. Just block out the news for the time being about Bitcoin forking out and just deal with what you see on the chart. Now from the high, this high here, which I'm marking as wave 3. Now from this high, it's only 3 waves down so far. I've been over this on lower time frames, 1, 2, 3. And now, so that's A, this is B, and now we're looking at, I would like to see one more low. I'm looking at this as 5 waves for C. I'm looking at 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3. This is 4, and one more low. I do want to see one more low in this to complete 5 waves for C. The breaking point is here on this low, wave 1 right there. 1077. So if that does break, I will adjust, but I'm looking for this to move lower once more and then head up. If you heard me talking about the 8 EMA, you'll see that even on Bitcoin it's valid. The good thing about Elliott Wave and the good thing about that particular EMA is that it works. You can apply these techniques to any chart without knowing what it is, what the conditions are, fundamental, political, news, otherwise. You can simply apply them and work out a trade based on patterns and movements. So it's something to keep in mind for the future, see how Bitcoin turns out. But I have to say at this point, with the parabolic look and the initial 3-wave start of this decline, I'm not bearish on this yet. Yes, it made a new high, and yes, you may be able to alter this count so that we have a B, C 3-wave composite here, but I like the idea of a further high in this with the parabolic look, and there's not sufficient mania in this. You see this moving towards 1800 US dollars, then we'll have some proper mania into this. So I'll keep this on the in view for now, and I'll go over everything tomorrow in more detail. Okay, good luck. Bye-bye.